please subscribe down there for our channel and hit the bell icon for notifications and share this with your friends. Radhe Radhe. So what is the first time Srimati Radhika cooked for Krishna? So sometime after this pastime where Devasa came and she cooked for him, then Radhika's birthday came. So like when we have a birthday, we like to invite all our friends, right? But for Srimati Radhika, Vrishabhanu Maharaj was like the king of Braj. Nanda Baba is the king of Braj, but Vrishabhanu is also like a king of his own area. They were like peers. Nanda Baba had 9 lakh cows, which means 900,000, and Vrishabhanu had 11 lakh cows, 1,100,000 cows. And so sometimes when Sridham and Krishna would argue, Sridham would say, oh, we have 200,000 more cows than you. Don't act like such a big shot, you know? You're acting like you're such a big shot, really like, you know, you're like small peanuts. So when Radha's birthday was coming, Vrishabhanu and Kirtida wanted to throw a big party. And so they invited all the Brajabasis for Radhika's birthday. So Nanda Baba, Jashoda, and Krishna, who is very young also, Baladev, they all got on their bullock carts, and all the residents of Nandagaon came, all the residents of Kamai, Karela, and all the different villages of Braj came for Radha's birthday. It's very beautifully described by Prabhuji in different classes, and it's also described in other granthas of the Goswamis. So we'll just tell it very brief here. So everyone came, and this is shown, it's shown here how you could properly follow someone's birthday, especially Srimati Radhika. So when everyone came, Vrishabhanu welcomed everyone, gave everyone garlands, chandan, gave them a nice place to sit, and you know, gave them refreshments and everything. So when that time Radhika was still quite young, but she wanted herself to cook. They were thinking, oh, we can hire many cooks. But Radhika had this desire, no, I will cook. She wanted to cook. And so Radhika herself, along with all her friends, began to cook. So who are her friends? From all the different villages, all her friends came. We can say together, Lalita, Vishaka, Chitra, Champakalata, Ranga Devi, Sudevi, Induleka, Tangavidya, Rupa, Rati, Kasturi, Lavanga, Ananga. So many friends. Nayana, Kamala. So all Radhika's friends, millions and millions of her friends came together and they began to cook a feast. So this is the first time she's cooking for Krishna. So you can imagine how much this ecstasy is in the heart of Srimati Radhika. So very quickly she began to cook hundreds and hundreds of preparations. So many hundreds of items of sweets. If you ever see the Vaishnavas, if you stay for a long time with the Vaishnavas, you can see, wow, every day new sweets are coming out, every day new preparations. This is all coming from the inspiration that comes from Srimati Radhika. So Srimati Radhika cooked hundreds of preparations. When Yashoda came, she was saying to Kirtida, who is Radha's mother, oh, where is Radha? She said, she is in the kitchen. Oh, she's just a small Kumari, how she's cooking? She said, oh, you don't know my Radha? She is very strong. Alone, she's able to do everything. So in the kitchen, Radha was cooking everything. She had her friends and assistants there. We don't think that they made her do all the hard work. It said before she comes in the kitchen, like we do for Prabhuji, everything is clean, the fire has already started, the pots are there, the water is boiling, and all the mandris and sakis are there, so they put the rice in. Then, you know, she is guiding and supervising everything and cooking some specific items also, and going and doing everything. So at that time, Yashoda wanted to see Kishori Radha, because actually, from the first time she saw Srimati Radhika, naturally Yashoda had so much love for her, like she was her own daughter. And it said Yashoda has equal love for Radha as for Krishna. And the first time she saw Radha, she thought, may that Srimati Radhika be with my Krishna. This was always her desire. She always wanted Radha to be with Krishna. So when she went into the kitchen, she saw Srimati Radhika, immediately embraced her. It said in the Vedic culture, if you have great affection for someone who is like a child, then you embrace them and you'll sniff their hair. And with her eyes, with the tears of her eyes, she bathed Srimati Radhika in this way and embraced her and gave her so many gifts. And then Radhika again went back to cooking. So in this way, Srimati Radhika cooked a wonderful feast. And when everyone sat down to take the feast, there were many other pastimes related to this event, but we're talking specifically about the cooking. So Radhika herself is very shy. She didn't want to serve out everything. So Radhika, it said she was staying back and she could just see from the kitchen, like we can also see from the kitchen. through some, crevice or something, so she can oversee everything that's going on. And so all the different sevaks began to distribute. Everyone sat in lines, all the elders, the gopas, the gopis. We can imagine their pavilion area, thousands and thousands of Brijabasis sitting down for prasadam. First time Radha was cooking for all the Brijabasis. So at that time, one after another, all the preparations came. And Yashoda, who was sitting nearby, and Krishna was on the nap of Nanda Baba. Krishna is sitting on one side, on one knee, and Baladev on one knee. And so they're sitting, and whatever comes, Krishna and Baladev are very quickly eating, especially Krishna. He's eating so much. And Yashoda is thinking, whenever I feed him at home, it's very difficult to get him to eat. Like he'll take a little bit and not be so interested. He'll give to Asaka, give to Baladev. And Yashoda is always telling Krishna, look at Baladev, he's so healthy. Baladev eats nicely, and he's very chubby, and he has a big sika. But Krishna's thin, and she says, oh, Krishna, you're just like dark and thin. And if you eat a lot of ghee and roti, then your sika will be moti. Sika means your sika will be very thick, moti. So he said, if you don't eat ghee and roti, your sika will not be moti. Baladev is always eating makkan and roti, therefore his sika is nice and moti. Your choti is your sika. They said if you eat makkan and roti, your choti will be moti. So Yashoda is always telling this to Baladev. Oh, if you take cow, makkan or roti, to choti hoga bara moti. But Krishna is always not eating nicely. So when this prasadam was coming, then Krishna was eating everything, one after another. Whatever would come, and he would take more and more and more and more. So Yashoda was thinking, wow, for the first time Krishna is taking so nicely. So while they were eating like this, then the Sakas began to exclaim the glories of the prasadam. They could not contain themselves. Madhu Mangal especially, some of the Sakas were like clapping, wow. One preparation, especially boys, if you give them nice sweets and things, boys will be very happy. So especially the Sakas were clapping and dancing. Then Madhu Mangal stood up in the lines and began to glorify it. And he's saying, Krishna, you don't know, you're just from a simple cowherder family. You've never taken anything like this. In many generations of your family, you've never eaten anything like this. But now you've finally taken something like this, something very wonderful. And he began to dance in the lines. So then Prabhuji describes at that point, Sukadev is Radha's parrot. He was watching all the prasad distribution. Someone has to watch to make sure everything's being done nicely. The prasad is being given properly, that no one is missing anything. Like when we were serving in Navadvip Parikrama, 15,000 people being served. So when you're serving 15,000 people, there were more than 15,000. So then you have to have people watching, oh, the Rasgullas didn't go there yet. Oh, the kheer didn't go there yet, right? So this Sukha was checking everything. And when he saw Madhu Mangal start making a ruckus, then he came strutting down the line like a general. It said, Prabhuji describes, he was walking very nicely down the line. And he began to chastise Madhu Mangal. Sit peacefully. You shouldn't cause disturbance during prasadam. You can glorify it with respect. So Prabhuji describes like that. So Madhu Mangal, they sat and they ate so much prasadam. So then afterwards, after prasadam, then Jashoda Mata was speaking with Kirdida, and she was saying, oh, this prasadam was so wonderful, and my son is never eating properly, but finally I see today he is eating nicely. And so she was thinking in her mind, oh, if only Srimati Radhika would come and cook for Krishna. If only she would cook for Krishna. But she was very shy to ask. She was thinking, how can I ask? Radhika is a princess. And how will she come to our house? And she was thinking, if only she would marry my Krishna, then every day she would be in my house and every day she could cook. And she was thinking, will I ask or not? So finally she was saying, would it be possible? Maybe sometimes, maybe not every day, but once in a while she could come and cook. And Kirtida was thinking, oh, my daughter is a princess. How can I send her to cook? This is like, if I send her to cook, it's like making her be a servant. How can I send her to cook? And then Brishabhanu came. She said, look, I have to ask Brishabhanu. So Brishabhanu Maharaj came, and he himself, immediately, he was like, not possible. How can she go there to cook at your house? If you want, every day Krishna can come and eat with us. Every day Krishna can come and eat at our house. And then Nanda and Jashoda were thinking, Krishna is also the prince. Brajaraj Kumar, he is a prince. They said that Krishna is a prince because he has no responsibilities, no duties. If he was a king, he would have to do so many things. But in Braj, he is just a prince who's carefree to do as he likes. He's very happy and free. But they were thinking he is a prince, and if every day he goes to the house of Brishabhanu, it's like he's being a beggar. every day he has to go and beg for some food. So they're thinking, how is it possible? And they were thinking, anyhow, they were praying for this. And so they were thinking, maybe we can somehow arrange Radha to marry Krishna. They had that idea at that time. They had thought this before. But what will happen next, we'll discuss tomorrow.